I know it's been a while, but I just wanted to do a cute, cool little intro of a project that I made, and I wanted to show you how easily entertained I am with magnets and a pincushion. And yeah, I just thought this was so neat. And look at this, my scissors are suspended in air. This is Lorena, and I wanted to do a video for you today on a pincushion I made. Yes, it's a pincushion that has some magnetism. I'm so excited to show you this tutorial. Yeah, I'm just excited, and this is what I made. It is a really fancy pantsy pincushion. I ended up putting some really cool magnets on the side of the frame, and all this is magnetized. See? It doesn't fall down. And it has another magnet on the other side. I really do hope you like this tutorial, and I really do hope you make one. I don't know, make one for yourself. I made two, and I really like them. So I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the doing, okay? I'll see you in a minute. All right, bye. So these are the supplies you're gonna need. You need a drill and a whole bunch of drill bits. Well, you really just need two. And then you're gonna need a screw, which is a drill bit to screw your screws. I had this somewhere in my house. I found it in a drawer. Plus a staple gun, and the worst hot glue gun ever. Don't buy that one. And some screws to screw into your wooden pieces that are going to become your feet. Also a piece of wood that is 7.5 by 7.5, and some magnets I got at a car dealership. So you're going to need a 9.5 by 9.5 block, or a 9 by 9 block. This is felt, and this is what's going to be underneath. So you're going to hide all the staples. Scrap batting. This is just some scrap batting that I have, and you're going to need some foam. You're also going to need some upholstery thread or any type of thicker thread with a needle that has a bigger opening. I also got some really cute buttons and a piece of foam, and I cut mine the same size as my piece of wood, which was 7.5 by 7.5. And now we're going to start working. Here you see me using my drill, and I punctured a hole all the way through, and I also changed the bit into a smaller bit. I'm just setting some little tiny holes here, so when I do screw in the feet, I have like a start. And I also started screwing a hole all the way through on my little wooden feet. Here I'm showing you what I just did. So my box is 7.5 by 7.5, and you saw that I measured 2 inches here, and I found center, and I drilled holes. What I ended up doing is I cut myself a piece of foam 7.5, but then I cut off an inch. So I'm going to put 4 magnets right here, and I'm going to move this over, and I'm going to cut my foam piece in half, and I also placed it back where the magnets are. I'm just showing you kind of like a mock-up of what I'm doing. This is where your hot glue gun comes into play. You go ahead and hot glue your foam, and let me tell you, my hot glue gun was a mess. It is the worst little hot glue gun you can ever get, so don't buy one of these. And here you see me, I glued the magnets down, I glued the foam to the wood, and then I also glued the foam on top of the magnets. I decided that I wanted magnets on the other side of my base, and here you see me using another set of magnets, and I only glued 2 because I only had 2, and I ended up cutting myself a bigger piece of foam that went the height of the original foam, and I glued that down, and I also glued a little piece to cover the magnet area on the top, like you see me right there. Also, some of my cutting was not as precise as I wanted it to be, so what is really neat about the foam, it is really easy to trim. And in a minute, I'm just showing you what my foam little pincushion looks like, and I went back and decided to trim off and kind of clean up the mess that I made. Get some really great scissors, and that foam cuts off like butter. And I went through and I cut everything and trimmed it off as straight as I possibly could. Once you've done all the trimming, you're going to go ahead and just cut yourself a bigger square of your leftover batting that you have laying around. What I did here is I stapled all in the center on all the sides, and then I stapled down. I stapled the corners last, and the reason I did that is because I wanted to create a little bit of bulkiness in this area, because the wood is a little bit sharp, so you want a little bit more batting here. Once you do that, go ahead and trim all your excess material, and now I think this is the fun part for me. Here I had my block, and I'm making sure that it has a center. I got my upholstery thread with a big needle with a big eye so I could put the thread through, and I'm going to go ahead where I drilled that hole, we're going to put that needle through there. It's a little tight when you push it in, but when you push the foam down, you'll see the needle, and then go ahead and grab the needle and pull up. Make sure you don't pull too much because you want to make sure you staple the end of your thread, and that's why I recommend that you get upholstery thread, because it's a little tougher. It can handle some stress because you're going to put it under a little bit of stress. Then you're going to go ahead and put your needle through the very center of whatever block you decide to have, and you're going to get any kind of button you want to put in the middle. You go ahead and feed the thread into the button, and then you put your needle in the center once more, and I had a little trouble, so I got some tweezers or pliers and pulled it out. When you have your needle or your thread on the opposite end, go ahead and pull as tight as you possibly kind of can, and then staple secure. I stapled in different areas and in different directions, and I also, once I did that, I stapled back where I first started, and then I got a hammer and hammered those staples down. This will secure your thread so that it doesn't loosen down the road. And I also kind of added just a couple more staples just to make sure, and I cut the thread. This is what it looks like when it has that beautiful button in the middle, and what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and staple the material again like we did the batting. I did all the sides, and then I stapled down, and then I started working on the corners. Now here, because it was a little bit thicker material, I had to use my hammer to make sure that the staples went all the way through. My stapler was not that great of a stapler. Here I tucked it in, the fabric in, almost as if you're folding the corners of a bed, to make sure that it looked really pretty and clean on the outside. This is when it matters on how you fold your material over and how it'll look on the outside. And this is what it looks like completely done. I think it's lovely. Isn't she lovely? All right, okay, let's get back to work. Then we go ahead, and I got myself some of my other material. I think this is called fleece, and I went and found my little drill holes that I made and draw an X right there. And then I got my horrible glue gun. This was the worst glue gun ever. I need to find a new one. Anybody has any recommendations, let me know, because this thing was a pain. And then you go ahead and glue your material down. I made sure that my fleece was probably like a 1/2 inch smaller all the way around than my piece of wood, so that it just overlaid really nicely. And here you see me struggling with a stupid glue gun. So yeah, once you've done that, I went ahead and drilled the screws inside my wood like you see there. I found it helped me a lot better having it already drilled through that wood little circle things that I got, and then you drill it into your wooden plate, and then you do that with all of them, and it looks lovely. It was a little pain in the butt when I drilled here because you have to get it started, but once you do, it really the feet of your little PinCushion really do stay secure. Then you see me drilling here, having a little bit of adversity. It didn't want to do what I wanted it to do. And then I noticed that I needed to do a little bit of maintenance of glue gunning because I could see my staples. And here you see me pulling that fleece and making sure that there's no staples seen, so when someone flips it over, they don't see my mess. And this is my magnets. Here's my bobbins that are magnetized to the magnet that we put on the PinCushion. Here's my scissors. Isn't it awesome? This is such a great idea I came up with, by the way. I'm just saying. And this is what the PinCushion looks like. I did do another one initially. This was my first one to see if it even worked. And I've been using it for a couple weeks. And I really like it. I really love it. And yeah. I really do hope you like this video. I hope you like the magnetic part of it. Do you hear that? I think it's cool. What I really like about this is I wind the bobbins. Have you ever wind your bobbins and then you can't find them? Or, you know, yeah. And they're just right there, right in the right spot. I really do hope you like this video, and I'll see ya on the next one. Have a wonderful day. Alright, bye. Bye. So I wanted to go ahead and share some of the clips that I did. I was playing with my PinCushion that has some magnetism, that has some magnets in them. Anyway, I just thought these clips were really cute. I like them a lot. I think it's really neat. I don't need much to entertain myself. Just let me make something and I'll play with it for a while. I really do want to thank you for watching. I also thank you for subscribing. And if you want, please join Lorena's Quilting Facebook group. I would love to meet you and share some of your creative projects that you do. And you kind of get to know and see some of the things I'm doing during the week when I'm not on YouTube. I thank you for watching, okay? Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later.